What's going on, guys? It's Kirby's DS Daddy acting COO and head of media for Samurai Blood Clan, back with another video. Today, guys, this is one, there's just a lot to it. I'm not happy at all, if I'm going to be completely honest. What I wanted to talk about today was the release of all of these weed, marijuana based skins, and don't be surprised, guys, if you see a lot of blurring out of things. Any characters that show it directly in their eyes that they're high off of weed smoke or some sort of weed marijuana cigarette is getting blurred out. Some of this stuff I just don't feel comfortable showing directly on screen, so you might see a lot of that. About 6 to 8 months ago, we made a video going over the Dr. Kushlove skin, as well as the Blunt Finger skin, both marijuana weed based skins. A lot of bong cigarette type stuff in there, a lot of weed smoke, a lot of weed vape, and we went into a deep dive. We talked about how we don't think that that is appropriate for a game like this, how it's not good for the community, how it's not good for the kids that play this game, and we did a public call out to have Call of Duty either remove those skins, or what we recommended is to at least have a alternative. So we advocated to have a skin called the Dr. Dare skin. Our design team designed it. I'll picture it here for you guys to see. It's a spin-off of the Dare program, which, you know, was to keep kids off of drugs. And he has a sidekick, the Darren Lion, pictured in this image as well. But we advocated for that, and heard nothing back. We waited. We thought about sending an email as a follow-up. Got nothing. You know, I wake up this week to see this. I see a weed event. They have an entire event-based resurgence mode with marijuana smoke in an airplane, marijuana smoke coming out of all the buildings. You're high on marijuana's. You know, I don't know if they're hitting bong cigarettes. I don't know if they're hitting marijuana cigarettes. I don't know what they're hitting. But the thing is you're high during the match. So you're giving kids now this ability to, hey, this is a let's get high simulator. This is what it's like to get high. And you're teaching kids like, hey, I'm having fun while being high. This is fun. I'm having a great time. Maybe I should try this in real life. A 12-year-old might think that and think, wait, it might be, you know, it's fun in Call of Duty. Maybe it's fun in real life. So again, I just wanted to kind of do a follow-up from our original Dr. Kushlove video, and if you haven't seen it, feel free to check it out. I want you guys to maybe watch it, get some context to where we're coming from in our side of this whole thing. First of all, I want to go over these two new skins. There's the Cheech and Chong skin, and then there's the Sloth skin, which they're both obviously high on marijuana, zarded out of their minds. So let's get right into it. Okay, yep, right here. I don't know if you guys caught this. Some of you might be thinking, well, it's probably just a smoke grenade. Guarantee you, this is something much deeper than just a smoke grenade. What they're alluding to here is people who do marijuana and smoke-based drugs have this thing called a smoke box. And, you know, I don't necessarily have a way of showing you, but I'm going to try to find a image here that's appropriate to give you guys kind of an illustration of how a smoke box works. But essentially, you find some sort of enclosed chamber. It can be a room, it can be a house, it could be a car, it could be anything that traps the marijuana weed smoke or whatever smoke you're trying to utilize. And what these people will do, they'll just keep inhaling and exhaling vast amounts of marijuana bong smoke, marijuana cigarette smoke, whatever you're using at the time, and they'll inhale it into the enclosed chamber. Not only are they getting themselves into the effect of it, but they're now, in a way, affecting everyone in the enclosed chamber with their use. So it's essentially a double up. It's equivalent to, I've played Pokemon. The best way I can relate it, because I don't do any of this stuff, but I can say it's the equivalent of you fighting a double team against another trainer in Pokemon, and your Pokemon using Sandstorm. That sandstorm is going to affect everyone in the battle, and it's a very similar concept to a smoke box. So anyways, I believe this could be a very close reference to that, if I'm not mistaken. There's the Sloth skin, and there's now Cheech and Chong. Okay, everything looks pretty normal here. Little more smoke than I'd like to see. I see a lot of smoke going on, and I think that could be a reference. Okay. Of course, we got Snoop Dogg, another marijuana guy. You know, it doesn't surprise me. It's kind of a weird crossover event, but it makes sense, I guess. especially if you're trying to push marijuana, you know, weed and all that. More smoke. He's smoking something there. You know, he's dancing. He's probably high or something. Right there. See, again, right there, more of it. And this is what I'm saying. This is 100% a reference to the smoke box. Now, they're outside, so they can't be effectively smoke boxing that well. But if you're just zarded enough, if you're just enough under that influence, that could still be hitting their senses and giving them underlying hit of more of that highness that they're trying to capture. And I really don't like that Call of Duty's pushing that. It's basically telling you to push past your limits. My guess is they're probably hallucinating here at this point. They're because you can get to a point where it gets to that from what I've read. So again, I find this video very misleading. I find it very influential. We only saw a little bit of the sloth, which I'm going to get more into the sloth. I think the sloth has a bit of a double meaning in the sense that, hey, here's a lovable animal, let's make him high. It's the Trojan horse effect. They're slipping it in by using something that seems harmless. Most kids are going to see the sloth first and then be like, well, he looks like a nice guy. He looks like a nice animal. He seems like what he's doing is right because he's cute and he's nice. Let's try it. Do you see what I'm saying? It's the same thing. I don't worry so much with that about Cheech and Chong. You have two older looking gentlemen. They're definitely not on the cuteness level of a sloth. I'll say that. You know, I'm here in the store now and I want to take a deeper look into these skin packs. Okay, so looking at this skin pack right away, I had to blur their eyes out. They're obviously high. I'm trying to hide any signs of drug paraphernalia in here. I mean, this is $30 for weed stuff is kind of crazy. But yeah, you can just tell these guys are zarded off their minds. I don't know if his glasses are supposed to be doing that, but his glasses are doing something crazy right now. I don't know if that has something to do with the drugs. I don't know. You know, and I don't know if you guys can see this. It's in the corner screen. I don't know how to enlarge it, but I'm gonna zoom in on this. When the gun eliminates somebody, it turns into a giant bong cigarette. I gotta blur it out. But, I mean, you want to talk about putting it blatantly in front of these kids' faces. Hey, good job, you got that guy. Here's a giant marijuana weed cigarette to commemorate you eliminating that guy. I mean, seriously, is this where we're at as a society right now? And not to mention the elimination animations for these guys. They essentially, what they'll do is they'll take you out, and then they'll blow smoke, marijuana smoke, through a shotgun barrel like they're ripping some sort of marijuana weed bongs type device. And then they're taking a guy out with that. Now, I don't know. This might work against them because my thought on this is you're showing that this smoke can be deadly. And in that way, you're almost, I would think, maybe going to scare off some people. So perhaps they shot themselves in the foot with that idea. I see a little homage to the weed sloth that I'll be showing you guys in a second. That's in this pack. And then you just got some stuff with their faces on it. And it's just them in a car. You know, they're smoke boxing in the car. This is a loading screen, so I can see how this can be harmful because kids are going to be having this every time they load into a match. I can't show much of it. I had to blur most of this out. But basically, they're in a car here, and they're smoke boxing it. Here we have the sloth. I can't show much of him. His whole body's covered in marijuana leaves. He definitely, his eyes show that he's been doing the drug. He's got marijuana cigarettes all over his chest in like a bullet type fashion, but they're cigarettes instead. And then his weapons are all marijuana themed. I love the Stalker as a sniper, but I will not be using this one, I can tell you that much. All these just totally devious images of in this one he's got a glass marijuana bong that he's using to smoke, and you can see it by smoke that's all around him, and he is extremely zarded in this. He's completely high off of this thing. You've got more of one where you're like almost under the influence. He's all the different colors. He's hitting a marijuana cigarette in this one, different from the marijuana bong, and he's obviously high again. You got marijuana leaves. I can't show any of this really. And then a little keychain with him. It's a sloth clinging onto a glass marijuana bong cigarette that you can smoke. The Jamaican flag with another sloth with another marijuana cigarette. How many marijuana cigarettes we gotta see before we realize what they're doing here? Seriously, I can't even show this. And then just some XP, I guess. Let's reward them for buying the drug paraphernalia with some XP. Give me a break. What I see here is really two agendas. They got what's for the little kids here, the sloth, And then they've got something for the older folk. I had to look up Cheech and Chong. I had no clue who these people were, really, until I Googled them. I think we need to focus more, and this is going to be a future video. I think we need to focus more on STEM type of skins. Science, technology. I don't know, what does the E stand for? Education, I think. Math. We need a teacher skin. We need I saw a chef skin, which I think is a step in the right direction, but we need a scientist. Why not a construction worker? Why not a mathematician? Seriously, though. Why not people who are non-controversial figures in our society that everyone can agree on are good things to strive for? I think this is something that Call of Duty really needs to reflect on, and maybe we'll type some sort of email up to them and send it on a live stream or something. We all have a freedom of speech, and we all have the right to do that, but in the same regard, I think we should have freedom of choice, and this really isn't choice here. This is all drugs, no counter. I think we should have at least a counter choice. And that's really the only solution that I can think of here. Having the resources for people to choose at least. This is the equivalent of opening up an ice cream shop and only providing vanilla ice cream. If you only provide weed skins, I mean, you're forcing people's hand here. Guys, I'm curious to hear what you have to say in the comment section. Give me your overall thoughts on this, how you think maybe we could solve this. We're open to other alternatives. Maybe we'll get a live stream going and send in some sort of email to Activision, or maybe we'll get some sort of petition started. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think would be most effective. Let's try to get the likes up there as well and get this video seen by Activision, guys. You know, as always, we appreciate you guys watching and the support. And with that, guys, this is Kirby's DS Daddy acting COO and head of media for Samurai Blood Clan, signing out. Thanks, guys.